G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode. Well, in this one, we're down on the Tweed River on the border of Queensland and New South Wales. We've had a heavy downpour in the last few days, so the water is a bit like chocolate milk, but I've fished the Tweed River in these conditions before and it's generally pretty fruitful. Rightio, let's get started. The first lure I'm going to throw is this Crush City. I've rigged it on a 1/20th hidden weight. Given the conditions, I think the fish are going to be sitting pretty high up on this rock wall. That's the plan anyway, so let's give it a go. A little bit short. There we go, first fish of the day. I don't think he's real big. Nice little bream to start off with. There he is. Oh, seems to be plenty of fish on this wall here. There we go. Definitely no shortage of bream in the Tweed River. He's only a little fella again. Oh, he's a little bit bigger than the last one. That's actually a better fish. See that Crush City there in his gob? It's a really, really light presentation for where we're fishing, but we've got nice calm conditions today, which is helping us. 29 centimetres, I might throw him in the live well. Rightio, I just made a little change. Just put a 1/12 ounce jig head on. I've still got my hidden weight on the other rod, but I just want both options to fish the higher part of the water and then also hit the bottom as well for those fish that might be down deep sulking with the fresh water that's coming through the system. Once again, the old faithful S factor. Just moved up to a new spot. There's a few overhanging trees and plenty of oysters and things on the rocks here, so it looks pretty prime. Let's rip in. There we go. There's a fish. He come out from underneath the trees there. These fish are hungry. He's taken that well and truly down his guts. Well, not down his guts, but in his mouth. He's 28 centimetres, that fella. Stick him in the well with the one that we caught before. There we go, little fella. He's not too bad. No, he's decent. I feel like I'm getting a few more bites now that I've gone to the heavier jig head, rather than using that hidden weight, just fishing for the fish that are high up in the column. You can see the lure pinned in the side of his mouth there. I feel like there's going to be fish everywhere in this area this morning, so we know there's plenty of fish on this rock wall here. We've caught a few. I can see them on the sounder. We've got the Boyd's Bay Bridge here in the background, so while the day is young, I might jump around a bit and fish a few different areas. All right, we're up on the bridge. I'm going to try this little Daiwa Kadachi. On the right hand side here, it's only shallow, it's only about 1 metre deep in there, so I'm going to throw it in there. Hopefully it hooks a big fish and I manage to get both out. All right, no luck on the crankbait. We'll go back to the soft plastic, shoot out in the middle here and fish a bit of that deeper stuff. Once again, going for the 1/12 ounce jig head. There we go, first fish off the bridge. A bit smaller than the ones off the rock wall. Rightio, the bridge is a bit quiet, so like I said earlier, we're going to jump between spots a little bit while the day is young, so just going to move up this part of the river a little bit and fish an area known as Kennedy Drive. First little floodie for the morning. Not a big fella. Bit of bait getting busted up in the background there. Little dusky flathead. See you, mate. Try that little hard body again. There we go. Hard body has worked for us. Smallest fish of the day. That can sometimes happen on a hard body because you've got those nice little trebles. Slippery little bream. All right, this isn't really working out, so I think we might revert back to what we were doing originally, and that's fishing rock walls. Have a couple more casts along this section of river here. If I don't catch a fish, we'll do that. There we go. That's a better fish. That's what you want in the Tweed. You see these trees in the background here. A lot of the time the better fish are way up underneath that cover. I'll actually stick a net under this one. I'm only using 3-pound leader, so I've got to be a little bit careful today swinging them in. Oh yeah, he's a nice Tweed River bream. Oh, get in the net. There we go. Lovely fish. There we go, guys. Beautiful Tweed River bream. Once again on that Rapala Crush City. Only really just started using that lure, but so far I am liking it. 33.5 centimetres. So fat and so deep. Before we go too far, I'm just going to check to see if he's got a mate that was with him. That's not a mate, that's a snag. Go and get that off. Come on, be good to me. Not liking my chances here looking at those oysters on the rocks though. No. Time for a new one, I'd say. Yep. There goes another jig head. That's just what you need to expect when you're fishing these rock walls, is to go through a little bit of gear. A little bit of a lure change after losing that last one to the rock wall. So I've gone down to a 1/16 ounce jig head, and I've gone a Z-Man grubs in the greasy prawn colour. There we go. Didn't take too long for that Z-Man to work. I don't think it really matters what brand you're using. I just really like that sort of 2.5 inch single tail pattern. Not as big as the last fish. He's not too bad. So I've made a bit of a change here. We had been fishing in the Terranora arm, and now I've come out into the actual main part of the Tweed River. I was a little bit worried that the water out here might be really dirty, but it doesn't look much worse than what was up Terranora, but we're going to find out pretty quickly if the fish are here or not. There's a bump. Another bump. So there is fish here. The tide is absolutely ripping here. There we go. First fish in the actual Tweed River, not the Terranora arm. Nothing wrong with that one either. Oop. Luckily I got the fish and the jig head. Not a bad little fish. I'll let him go. All right, we're back in the game. See if we can catch a bit bigger fish along this wall. There's literally kilometres of this rock wall in the Tweed River that you can do this on. Pretty much all of it generally will have fish on it at times. There we go. That's a better fish. It's got some weight about it. Oh yeah, that's a really nice one. I'm not going to make the same mistake as what happened with that last fish when I tried to swing him in and the line snapped at the jig head. Beautiful Tweed River bream. That one's 31 centimetres. He can go join his other mates in the live well. There you go, buddy. Oh geez, that didn't take too long. Might have found a school on the wall actually. There's a gap in the wall here where the water's just draining over the top of it, and I think these fish are sitting on this side waiting for bait to come up over the top. Here's another nice fish. There we go, 2 and 2 casts. Loving it. 31 centimetres. Get him in the live well with his mates. There you go, buddy. Rightio, same process. Let's see if we can do that for a third time. A little bit of S factor on the grub. Put that cast in the same spot the last one come from. We're in 5 metres of water here, but the fish that I'm catching, they really are sort of anywhere from the top of the rock wall down to the base of it. Yep, there's a bite. There's a fish. Oh geez, he's solid too. There's some good ones on this wall. Oh, I dropped him. I was worried about him running back in, so I started to steer the boat away from the rock wall, and that hook has just come straight out. Everything on this rock wall right here feels like quality. I had sort of thought about jumping across the other side, but I think we'll have to do one more drift down along it before we take off. Oh, there's fish here everywhere. There we go. That's another nice fish. Man, the quality is here. Hook comes straight out of him. That one there, 32 centimetres. The Tweed used to be renowned for smaller bream, but tell you what, plenty of quality today. There goes the jig head. I'm going to pull the electric motor up and we'll drive back up on this rock wall and do another drift down along it, but before I do, I'll re-rig this rod, and I'm going to rig up one of the other ones with a 1/16 or a 1/12 jig head, just in case we drop one on the way through. We'll have a spare ready to go. There we go, there's a bite, there's a fish. Nothing like those last three. Or is he? Sort of came in with it. Oh, that's another nice fish. Not as big. Same thing again. And that Z-Man grubs. A fair few fish in the well now, so I'll just let this one go. That one was right up shallow on the wall. Let's slip the net onto this one as well. Lively little character. Quickly pop the hook out of him and get that lure back in. See you, mate. Tweed is on fire today. They're all decent fish too. That's not quite as big. I think that creamy beige sort of colour is doing the damage today in this dirtier water. I normally like the more natural colours like bloodworm, but there is as many fish in the Tweed today as what I reckon you'd want to catch. There are so many fish in the Tweed today. This is just an awesome little session. Rightio, that drift on that wall was too good to not repeat again, so I'll stow these rods and get back up there and do it all again. Oh, that felt like a good one. Had a fair bit of weight to it. I think my hook is blunt. There's two fish I've dropped now. What is going on? Still feels all right. Must be my fishing ability. Oh, that's a good fish. Come on, champion. Get out from those rocks. That's a real good one. Just going to steer him away from that rock wall with the electric motor, keeping the pressure on him. I think he may have been wrapped. I just felt a little bit of a change in the fight. Yeah, he's a good one, but he's not that big. I think what had happened is the line had wrapped itself around him, making him feel really weighty in that current. Still a lovely Tweed River bream. You can see the jig head right down there. I feel like I could drift that rock wall all day and continue to catch fish, but it's not often I get down to the Tweed River for a fish, so while I'm here I'm going to go and explore a few areas up the top of the river. I'll have a bite to eat on our way up there and see what else we can find. What we've got behind us here is a cane drain, and often after a fair bit of rain these will fish really well because there's water coming out of the drain and the fish will push up right against them, waiting for anything that comes out that they can have a feed on. I just changed back to a hidden weight. Got some overhanging trees upstream here and just going to skip this little soft plastic in underneath the shade. Not that the shade should make too much difference in this dirty water, but typically that's where the fish live, so let's see how we go. There we go. Even though we are in complete fresh water, there is a yellowfin bream. Tiny little tacker. You can see the hidden weight there in his gob. This is a good sign. This means that there will be fish upstream. Well, I reckon I was wrong. Upstream sucks today, so I think I'll pull up the Bowman electric motor and head back down to the mouth where we were braining those fish earlier and spend a couple more hours doing that. Yep, bite straight away. There we go, first cast. Compared to upstream where I only caught one fish in about half an hour. Only a little tacker. There's a bite. There's a fish. When you're fishing soft plastics on these walls, you don't have to strike at your first sort of touch. I just tend to let them sort of eat the bait, and once I feel it right down in their mouth, I'll set the hooks. Another little fella. Oh, that's a better fish. Better than the last two anyway. Another nice bream. See you, mate. Well, that brings me to the end of another episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that I did, catching plenty of bream down the mouth of the Tweed River on soft plastics. It was a little bit of a shame that when we went further up, the water was like chocolate milk and there was no bites to be had, but still, any day on the Tweed River is a good one. I hope that you've been getting out, wetting a line, and I'll look forward to seeing you out on the water soon.